This lesson is going to focus on the proposals part of the Escience 8 course. So with every project in Escience, there is a required proposal that you have to do. And so you'll see that when you get to the choice projects, there's one of these boxes on your Moodle Escience page. There's one of these boxes for every one of the projects. So you're of course going to start with choice project 1, and you'll see that the steps are always the same. So the first thing that you do is you tell us your project request, and you do that right here in this first step. And when you click on that, a box will come up and you'll type out the project that you'd like to do. So you'll simply say, I would like to do the such and such project. And that's just so that we can see that you are choosing one of the ones that is an option for you to do. Then, once you've done that, then you'll actually find the proposal template that goes with your project, and you'll complete that. So what is a proposal? It's a tool used to persuade someone that you've got a good research idea. It shows that you've put some thought into what you'd like to do your research on, and it shows that you've narrowed down your topic into something manageable and have a good idea as to where you're heading. So every project has a proposal that goes with it. And so when you click on the choice projects, you'll get a list of them. And when you click on each one of the icons, you can see the directions. And so for this one, I've clicked on Research and Art. And so it includes a little YouTube video with an explanation of what you need to do. And in step 2 is where you'll find the research and art proposal, and that's with every project. So you'll find, and it might say proposal template, it might be worded a little bit differently, but you need to find that proposal activity. So here's an example of one of them. So that research and art proposal template looks like this. This is what the advertising proposal template looks like. So instead of having a graphic organizer, it starts out with some questions. This is what the proposal, or the poetry proposal template looks like. So there's many different types of proposal formats. But what they all have in common is that they start with a written piece up top, and it could be a graphic organizer or it could be questions. Then there's a bibliography section, and that's the list of your resources that you're going to use. And they end with an estimated completion date. So you have to give us a time frame, a date, and a specific date as to when you're going to try to complete the project by. So where you see one with a graphic organizer like this, like that research and art proposal template, right, here we go. What you do is you're taking a very general topic, and so you can see here somebody's completed this one and they used Roundup. Well, that's not very specific, and entire books have been probably written about Roundup. So you need to be more specific and show that you can narrow down your idea. And so just anything that's kind of popped into this person's mind about Roundup, they wrote in the little circles outside. Now, if you're using a template like this, don't feel like you are narrowed down to those many spaces. So there's only 7 circles around that main idea. If you have more, draw more in, add more. You might even take one topic or one subtopic, maybe false advertising, and you get a number of ideas about that. And so you could actually even branch off and have more lines and circles that go from false advertising. But at some point you should get narrowed down, and you should feel like, okay, this is something I can work with, this is what I'm interested in. And so they've written a conclusion here. And so if you're using this type of graphic organizer, you do need to, if I was looking at this without this conclusion, I still wouldn't be sure where you were heading with this project. And so if you use this type of a graphic organizer, you need to have a conclusion. So this person concluded that they were going to focus on what their opinion about Roundup is. Would they use it or not? Okay? So it's really a brainstorming activity, but it does need to have a conclusion. So that would be the first part of that kind of a proposal. So the graphic organizer, and as I did say, sometimes those proposals have questions instead. But if you get one like this, then you're basically using it as a brainstorming activity, and you're concluding what your narrowed down topic is. And so you're basically requesting that you go and do your research on that, whatever's in that conclusion box. So every proposal also has to have a bibliography, and that's the list of sources used. You will need a minimum of 5, and you can get more information on that, about how to write a bibliography, in the next video. So please do watch that. And sources don't have to be just the internet or books. Think also of magazines and of people too. You might know an expert on the subject that you're researching. Well, you would add that person's name into your bibliography. You might also watch, maybe it might be a video that you watch, a movie, a DVD, something on TV, a program. Those are all things that would go into your bibliography. And so, to go back, you'd want to gather those resources and know that you have them before you actually start the project. And then the third part of the proposal is always the estimated completion date. So we recommend taking 2 weeks to complete a project, working on it 5 days per week. And if you're taking the course through a linear system where it's where you're taking the course from September all the way to June, then you would have a bit more time to work on the projects, and you should aim for at least one project per month. So how will your proposals be marked? Well, you'll see in the course here there is a rubric, and for every activity, every project, there is also a rubric. And this same proposal rubric will be used. So what a rubric is, it's basically a guide to help us score and mark and give you feedback on your proposal, okay, or whatever the assignment may be. And so you can go through this rubric and ask yourself, okay, did I do these things? And where you really want to look is at this exceeding expectations. So these are the things that you need to be doing in order to get the full marks. So take a look at your proposal before you submit it and decide, okay, where on this rubric would my proposal fit in? For the future project, for the final product that you do, you'll actually be asked to give yourself a mark on your final product. So it's a really good idea to familiarize yourself with these rubrics. So now that we're finished taking a look at proposals, you can go ahead and watch the bibliography part, the next video, and use this information in creating your proposal for your first project.